Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live with Roxy for episode 346. 346 days in a row of quarantine. And this might be the weirdest show yet. It is Wednesday, February 24th, and I am not alone. For the first time on this show, I'm introducing you guys to my friend Adrian, who has more life experience than somebody who is like 97 years old. He just started a site called The Dirt Lot that I'm completely obsessed with. And he's here to talk to us about that, / just like everything else that's going on with him. Hi, Adrian. This has been an easy journey so far today. I mean, pain-free so far. We're doing okay?
So, yeah. Cheers, Rox.
Cheers to you. I wish I was having a beer right now, but instead I'm having tea because I'm kind of a wimp compared to when you first met me. For those of you guys who don't know, I was talking a little bit about Adrian before on the show, but we met because Adrian was working for SiriusXM in a completely different time. It feels like that was a different life of yours, a whole different world. And we met because he was working on Sam Roberts' show, who you guys know. A lot of you guys are here because you knew me from there. And he quit his job and then just like decided to white water raft. I'm still unclear on the details of it. We all thought he was absolutely fucking insane. And let that be known. And now he's doing something really dope. So maybe joke's on us. I kind of wanted to walk them through what actually happened because, to be perfectly frank, I still don't really know what it is that you quit to do, and still don't really know how that all went down. So you were at Sirius and you left and you moved to white water raft. That's what happened, right?
Well, I mean, it's a little more complicated than that.
But okay, so what happened?
So I started halfway through. I mean, my time at Sirius was pretty amazing. Like, how important my time with Sam was to me. But halfway through, I kind of realized it's not what I wanted to do forever. Like, I knew I wanted to do something creative, but I didn't want to be in radio or necessarily like your standard entertainment industry type thing. And I started to think about it, and I was really stoked on the outdoors and adventure, and probably, got hooked by Instagram accounts and whatnot, thinking that, there's peace in the mountains and all that stuff.
What, you were seeing a bunch of pictures of beautiful nature and you were like, that's what I need?
Yes, and like women living out of these vans and doing these cool things and this and that, and like
it's always the women. It's always the women. Like, guys will follow women that look like they're beautiful in nature wherever they are. That's some crazy shit.
It was that a little bit, and then there were a couple dudes I came across, like Jimmy Chin. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a big time rock climber, photographer, filmmaker. And I just saw this kind of life where you could go out and do shit that was kind of crazy and fun, and that appealed to me. And I'd had a background in writing. It's what got me into college, because my GPA in high school was shit. But writing samples of mine got me into a good program, and I was like, okay. Sam was my mentor at the time, and pretty much everything he said was gospel to me. And he always preached playing your strengths. And I was like, okay, I'm a good writer. I don't want to live in the New York City area. I want to have an adventure. I'll just move west and become the next John Krakauer. Like, it'll take me a year to get into National Geographic, and then I'll write a book and become a millionaire, and I'll just be able to.
That was a later dream. Like, you didn't know from being a kid that's exactly what you wanted to do. You kind of trial and errored it.
Yeah, that kind of came up when I was working at Sirius. Like, I had a moment where, like, I realized how good of a position I was in because I got to learn from Sam and whatnot. But I had like a year and a half in, I was like, this isn't what I want to do forever. You know what I mean? So I spent a lot of time thinking, and every time I went outdoors or did that sort of thing, like it always excited me. So that's how the idea kind of sprouted. Like, I took my mom on a vacation to Lake George and loved it, and went back a week later with my buddies, and we all camped out on an island and drank beer and were running around the lake. So I started to look into it, and then there's this writer named Brendan Leonard who's had a major influence on me, and he's got all these different books. Talks about how he got through alcoholism, through climbing, this, that, all kinds of different things. His book, The New American Road Trip Mixtape. Actually, I've got it. I keep it on my desk all the time. And I read his book and was like, cool.
Are you trying to prove to us? Okay.
Look how fucked up.
I like that you were like, they're not going to trust me that I read this. I got to grab it or they won't know.
Well, I keep this on my desk at all times when I'm writing, because he's probably had a bigger influence on me than anybody in terms of the writing stuff. And once I read his book, I was like, oh, there's this whole other world that I could live in where these people are living in cars or vans or this and that and going on adventures all the time.
But did you ever get nervous? Because just pausing for a second, if you're thinking like, okay, Sirius XM, I want to be in radio. This is what I want to do. And then you saw how this was going and you were like, I actually don't want to do this. I'm grateful for what I'm learning, but I don't want to do this. Did you ever get nervous with the next leap that you were going to have that same thing? Like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do outdoors and I want to do nature. And then that you were going to get there and be like, actually, this is not what I want to do.
For sure. Yeah. I was really worried about that. Like, I mean, when I first moved to Montana, like I remember meeting this kid who's one of my good friends right now. His nickname's Caveman Craig, because he's got a beard down here and hair down here. And first time I met him, he was all dirty and sweaty and smelled like a locker room and was talking to me about being a raft guide. And I remember having a moment of like, why the fuck did I walk away from radio to hang out with people who don't shower? So I thought about that before I got into it. And I thought about it afterwards, but slowly fell in love with the subculture. And the worry that was there ahead of time. So he's like, okay, if I don't like it, then I'll just find the next thing. You know, I'm an immigrant's kid, and it's always been kind of drilled into my brain that no matter what, you just keep moving, like keep working, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep going. So I knew if it didn't work out, then I would just have to find something else and pivot.
But it's kind of a big, it's just a big, if it doesn't work out, to like quit a steady job with a stable paycheck in a city to move across the country to none of those things.
Yeah. You know, I like to take chances and I'm pretty impulsive. So
do you think that looking back, you think that was the right move because you found what you actually do feel passionate about?
Absolutely. It dramatically enhanced my quality of life. Like I took the rafting job, not because I was planning on being a raft guide forever, but because I was like, cool, that'll be my intro, my stepping stone to the outdoor world. You know, I talked to this dude on the phone who was out in Montana. At the time I was planning on starting the journey out in Tennessee, but then I talked to this dude and immediately was like, I want to work for that guy, and said, fuck it, I'm going to Montana and becoming a whitewater rafting guide. And I planned on doing one season, but I discovered, you know, this entire subculture that I had no idea existed. And I don't know, like it sounds corny, but like felt at home.
So what is it? What is the subculture? Because a lot of people in here are like, so what does he do? What is it now? And I talk to you all of the time now. Like we are on the phone multiple times a week, especially with the launch of your site. But I still don't, I get what you're doing in terms of the website. That stuff I totally understand. But what this subculture is, I still don't get it.
I mean, it's all these, it's the greatest cast of characters I've ever met in my life. So like how whitewater works is we get paid peanuts. We raft every day. Most companies have a piece of land where guides either live in tents or the back of a truck or a van, and everybody kind of does everything together. So it's kind of these unhinged human beings who've kind of thrown safety and security just out the window to spend all their time doing the shit they love, which is kayaking, rafting, climbing, this, that.
But that's like a lot of your dream was then to then write about it. Is a lot of people who do that, their dream is just to like freely live?
I think so. Yeah. I think a lot of, within the outdoors community, like the dirtbag is a term of endearment, right? It's somebody who gives up safety and security to spend all their time pursuing their chosen sport. There's dirtbag climbers, there's dirtbag kayakers, there's dirtbag river guides, which I am.
They're not crossing over?
They do, for sure they do. Like dirtbag ski bums, like there's all that. They're like, you'll find people who kind of arrange their life around like, okay, summertime I'm kayaking, and then tail end of summer I'll be mountain biking, this, that, wintertime I'm skiing. And then they repeat that cycle every year. You know,
but I think of those things as vacations. Like I think, and maybe this is just because I'm so out of this world, but when you're talking about that's what they do, you're saying that's what they make a living doing, or you're saying that somehow they just have enough money that they can just spend their whole life skiing and snowboarding and rafting and rock climbing?
Well, no, they don't have enough money. Like all dirtbags are broke. We're all broke. Like they're masters of improv. So they figure out a way to make it work. Like right now, I'm living in a shed essentially down here in North Carolina, um, right in downtown Asheville. And the reason I'm able to afford it is because I'm trading my landlord uh, carpentry and landscaping work for a discount on rent. And like real dirtbags, some of them don't even work at all. I don't understand how they pull it off. Like there are some people I know who claim to live on like 500, $600 a month. Um, but you take different jobs. You wait
But how are they
tables in the
getting the
wintertime.
$500, $600? Like, what if they don't work at all? What are they doing?
They, they saved up money doing a job for a short amount of time, and then they're just, spending it until it runs out.
Wow.
Like there are ski bums who they'll take jobs waiting tables and at night and spend every day all day skiing, and they go right from the mountain to the restaurant where they work. And then river guides, like our job is to raft. So you raft all day with customers. When the day is done, you're either drinking PBR or you go back on the river for fun floats, or you go hiking,
And
or you go climbing.
are the customers similar to you guys or no?
No, absolutely not. I'm working on a piece for the website right now called Tip Your Fucking Guide. Um, that kind of talks about how like everyone who comes rafting, it's like, oh, this is just this great thing. And they don't realize that like we're the same as a waiter or waitress, like, except our job is to keep you alive. So please tip us 20% because we get paid peanuts. And river guides, like gratuities are how we survive.
Do people
Like
even
if we,
like do some people not tip you at all because they don't even know to tip their guy?
yeah. And it depends on the company you work at. Some companies will allow guides to do what we call a tip talk, where we try to, and it's weird, it's uncomfortable, but you try to do it in the most respectful way possible of explaining to customers, like, hey, like guides rely on your gratuities to stay alive, pretty much. Like it's where the majority of our living comes from. During the summertime, I don't touch my paychecks. They all get put into my bank account, and I survive off of cash that customers give me. So like some weeks, if I get cool people and they've given me enough cash, sweet. Like I'll put a little bit of it away. The rest of it, I'll buy PBR or margarita or eat out instead of doing like ramen noodles or PB&J or just bacon and eggs. Or a lot of the times, I like to, at least the last company I worked for, when we do full day trips, we do a whole lunch spread. So I just kind of lived off the leftovers from the full days.
And this is a weird one, but like happily, you do that happily?
I mean, yeah, there are definitely moments where like I've had a lot of struggles in it. Watching most of my friends back home are yuppies, who are accountants or they're in sales or this or that. So you get on
You mean your
Instagram and it's like,
childhood friends, like your friends from high school kind of thing?
yeah, and you see like, well, this one's getting engaged. This one just bought a house. This one did, and I'm like, oh shit, like I'm just trying to stack as much money together so I can hopefully pay rent in a ski town or have enough dough where if something goes wrong with my truck, I won't be stuck in whatever town I'm in for the next 3-4 months.
It
You
is
know,
such
but
it like you chose this is the life that you are choosing every day.
yeah, pretty much like right now, I'm pretty
Wild.
okay.
Wild.
I mean, it's just like because what I really fell in love with it wasn't necessarily the river. Like that's a whole nother thing. Like once you discover that world and you get the whitewater, like I think to people who are outside of it, it's just like, oh, splash, splash. It's fun. Like it's a very technical thing that's like super hard to master. Like I have a friend, Ryan, who I call the Whitewater Jedi, who's been doing it for 11 years. And like he's mastered his craft. And to someone who's not in that, it doesn't really make sense, but it's extremely difficult. It's like that little puzzle of figuring out whitewater, figuring out how to manipulate a boat. That's stimulating, but more than anything is the people. Like it's this very odd sense of community, where
Are
people
you
have their
good at it?
backs.
The actual rafting part of it?
Well, I have 3 seasons under my belt, so I would say, like, if you ask my buddy who I was just talking about, he'd probably be like, "No, he sucks." For a third year guide, though, I like to think I'm pretty good.
When you suck, does that mean that people get injured?
No, like it really varies, right? Like rivers are different everywhere you go. Like the river I started on, the Yellowstone, it's a high volume river, meaning there's a lot of water, but there's not a lot of rocks or obstacles and stuff like that. Like it's pretty much point and shoot. where I know, okay, I have to tee up my boat to this and just go. But I've definitely seen some guides who are bad at their jobs and will flip boats more often than not, you know?
With people on them.
Yeah. That's why you sign a waiver.
I remember I went whitewater rafting as a kid. Like, we used to go in Girl Scouts, but I didn't remember anybody. I don't know. Must have been, is there a place in Massachusetts or like New Hampshire, somewhere over there?
I think there's a river in Massachusetts called the Deerfield or something.
Yeah. There's a, I think that sounds familiar. I also know there's a high school right there that wasn't helpful to anybody else. A couple comments coming in the chat. So people are confused as I am by your life story so far. Jeff Aaron says, sounds awesome to me. Weston Iris says, this is a brave dude. Rob says, I'm digging this. Do you feel brave? Is that what you feel like when you're out there? Or are you like, I'm a badass?
Not really. I mean, like, I'm sure, like I remember when I first got into it and like posting stuff on my Instagram being like, oh shit, every girl I went to high school with is going to see this and think I'm like this adventurous badass. But like, not really. Like, I don't think I'm particularly good at it. Like, I've been around some people who are very talented boaters and run like way bigger whitewater than me. Shit that like makes my butthole pucker up. Like I'm scared a lot of the times. Like the most recent river I went to, I got there because my two mentors, this dude named Pipe Bomb and his wife Misinformation, they got me in there.
Those real?
And it was on like a.
Did you just give real names? What? Pipe Bomb and Misinformation.
Those are their nicknames. That's my dirtbag mom and dad. They taught me everything about the lifestyle.
Okay.
And they got this river that was like a step up in terms of like the technical aspects to it and whatnot. And my first month there, like I was pretty OCD about being perfect and like really nervous because I didn't want to make them look bad. And it was a higher consequence river where it had features underneath the surface where people could get pinned and stuck and get really hurt or killed.
And does that happen? Or that's just like it could happen if they didn't do their due diligence?
It could happen. Like, you know, it's in a way, I feel weird calling it an extreme sport, but it is. Like anything can happen. There's 100 different variables.
Yeah.
The company I worked at, it was pretty legendary in that in all their years of existence, they're the only company in the state of Colorado that's never had a fatality. Knock on wood. So I learned from really talented people. That's why I say
like your mic has been so quiet this whole time with you talking, but then you knocking on wood was so fucking loud. Where'd you knock right next to the mic? Kind of. Your mic has been shit this whole time, but we're picking up what you're putting down. We're making it out. Until now.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, you're just frozen now. Now you're just completely frozen. No, but you are frozen with a smile on your face. Oh, you're back. Yeah, we got you. I don't know that we got you.
You got me?
No, I'm bringing you out and back in. Guys, pray for Adrian. Fingers crossed. Oh, I'm watching him in the little thing as he's drinking his beer. All right. Are you with us again? Maybe like try not to move as much as you're moving a little bit.
See you? Can you?
No.
All right.
Oh, they're hearing you. I'm jinxing things. It's a me problem. All right. I'm with you. You're not with us. Me? Yeah, I got you. It's just a lag. You're on delay again. Click out, do all of that, come back in. Making our way through it. That's not it, Rox. What do you mean it's not it? It is. I'm going to have him click out. I'm going to have him come back in. I'm going to kick him from the studio. In the meantime, guys, make sure you get your questions in. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer and also in the super chat so that I know how you guys are feeling. You guys are saying that you can hear him fine. No way. No way. I will go into the Streamlabs as I'm looking, and also we had some questions that came in through Patreon. So let me take a few of these as we make our way through. Crazy when somebody has a wild ass life story like that, right? Where it's just something so different than what I understand. I think he's back in. Let's see if it worked. How are we looking?
I can see you. Can you see me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's just that you have extreme
Sweet.
lag. Like when I say your name, then put your hand up. Adrian. Yeah, we got it. I think we got a little bit of a lag. Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is what it says. You can hear him fine, but the picture is just lagging. All right, we'll make our way through. We'll see if it works, and otherwise we'll figure out 15 other steps that we can take. Okay, so all of this though, describing this entire said okay like 20 seconds after I described all of this is just kind of like setting up for what you actually want to do though. And then let me know if you can hear me. So this is all like the lifestyle, but none of this is about the dirt lot. None of this is exactly what you're doing, which is being a writer now. I'm concerned that but based on your facial expressions, I'm concerned that you're not in the same part of the story as I am. Are you with me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hear
we good now. So then what's the transition? So you've got 3 seasons under your belt and you're like, now is the time because you always knew you wanted to start writing about this. Like what actually happened there?
Well, so like originally when I set out, I wanted to be like John Krakauer. I don't know if you heard of him, but he's the dude who like wrote that book about Everest. And like essentially my goal was I just wanted to get paid to do cool shit and tell the stories about it. Like I wanted to walk away when I'm old being like, man, I did everything I've ever thought about doing. And I got to tell the stories about it and I made a living from it. But then when I discovered like the dirtbag subculture and all these cool people, like I really fell in love with that. And I spent a lot of time like trying to pitch stuff to mainstream publications and kind of clean up my writing and whatnot. And I did get published, but I got rejected 1,000 times and couldn't get anything in there.
So what does that look like? You're
like,
reaching out to companies and you're saying, I'm a writer. Can I write this for you? Or are you showing them like, here's a full piece. Do you want to buy this? Or what does it even look like for people who don't even know how to get to that step?
Just pitching different stories to different outlets and more often than not getting shit back. Like not even an email, not this, not that. Occasionally an editor would be like, hey, cool idea, not going to work for us. You know what I mean? I got one story published that I wrote, and then I wrote and voiced an episode of a podcast, and that was it. And yeah, I think recently I just started to think more and more, and I don't know. I was like, this subculture doesn't really have a voice. Like when you look at outdoor media, a lot of what you see is like top 10 mountain towns to live in. Like, oh, how you have this weekend in Vail that will cost you $4,000. And I started to realize like there's a hole in the media space in terms of outdoor media. There's no voice for dirtbags or ski bums really. Like there's a couple companies who are doing it. But I started to think like, what if I could create this? And then I had a moment where I left one seasonal job and I was super bummed out. Like I even called my mom, like, this sucks. Like I'm close with all these people, but the way things work, like we all have to move on to different things when a season ends to make money or do this or do that. And you build these insanely strong bonds with each other and then boom, season's over and it's gone. And I was like, what if I could create something where I get to keep all these cool people around me all the time? And and yeah, probably a little naive, but that's what my vision is for what I'm doing with the dirt lot is number one, to give a voice to this subculture that's completely altered my perspective and in a lot of ways made me a better person. And also create a means through which dirtbags, at least the ones I'm friends with, I can't do it for every dirtbag, but can earn a living wage while also doing what they love. Because eventually, like, it becomes unsustainable when you're a raft guide. Like, you can't have a family, you can't become a homeowner, you can't do this, you can't do that on what we're paid. And I've watched a lot of people walk away from the shit that really makes them tick. Like, I know some hardcore kayakers and paddlers who go get some job that they fucking hate because there's shit that they need to be able to pay for. So my dream with the dirt lot, the end goal is to build it into a content house for this subculture and be able to turn to someone like my buddy Ryan, who I was talking about before, the Whitewater Jedi, and be like, hey, here's a camera. go paddle that class 5 stretch in California and come back with a story. Like, that's your job now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense. And it sounds like it's a two-part mission where part of it's for you and part of it's for your people. But I also think that that will probably get very complicated really fast, or I can imagine it will, because if all of your friends are dirtbags, how are you going to choose who you help? You drink that PBR. It's more important than the answer for sure.
It's America's best beverage. This is the professional boaters refreshment.
I feel you. I know they are gonna at some point they are going to absolutely be the leading sponsor of the Dirt Lot. Like there's just no fucking shot that they're not. It's awesome what just keep pounding.
That's the dream. Like, just a little side note about the sub. Like, we drink PBR like it's water. That's what river guides, ski bums. That's what we do.
Universally in all places.
Pretty much, yeah. Because PBR, it's reasonably priced and it's still good. You know, like people either call it the professional boater.
No. What's
that?
You said and I said I don't fully know. I maybe because I'm not a dirtbag, but it wouldn't necessarily be mine of choice.
Well, it's a delicious beer. I mean, they've got 40 ounces. They've got their hard coffee now, which I usually drink every morning. Like, a couple people have reached out and asked how I keep coming up with ideas for stories, and it's past Blue Ribbon. You know, it's made with nature's choicest products.
Cool.
That's what provides its flavor.
Why do you think that? So you think it just became like the universal dirtbag beer because of the price point and decent enough taste?
I think so. Yeah. Like I don't think it's any more complicated than that.
It's just so weird that like in all the places, because I know you've been in like West Coast, East Coast, all over. That's just like everywhere. It's PBR.
I've lived in 7 different states in the past 3 years, and in every single one, I primarily consume PBR.
Well, not you primarily consume. I'm saying the lifestyle, the people around you.
Yeah. Me and my friends, the people I'm skiing or paddling with, we drink PBR.
As we're on this side note, so I know that PBR would be like a dream for you to work with because obviously it's always best when you're working with companies that you really like. But you're only in your first few months of inception for the Dirt Lot, and you already have interest in companies that you're working with. Can you talk a little bit about that and your process there and how you got to that point?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to explain. So yeah, I've just been writing different stories and throwing them up there and doing everything I can to get them out. And I wrote a story recently, a humor thing about my conspiracy theory that all ski town landlords who charge these outrageous rents are secretly lizard people. And a couple readers posted them in different groups, and it gained more traction than anything else I wrote. Like, overnight, I went from, I think I had like 140 people who had read the story to over 1,000. And I ended up sending it to the founder of Unofficial Networks, which is like a really awesome website that's had a huge influence on me. And they do all kinds of different stuff. It was founded by 2 ski bum brothers in like 2006. And I think 2010 or 2011, they started covering like the global ski scene. But originally it was for like hardcore skiers in Squaw Valley. Like, they've made this movie called Game of Gnar, which if anybody who's watching right now, if you have questions about the ski bum or dirtbag culture, go watch Game of Gnar on YouTube. It's going to make you laugh, and it'll make you see really why I say I fell in love with these people. But I ended up in touch with their founder, and he really liked the story and reposted it, and then read some of the other stuff. And going forward, they're going to be syndicating select content from the Dirt Lot on their website.
And it's just because you reached out, because you were like, oh, I think that this could be a cool partnership for me.
No, I didn't even reach out looking for a partnership. I sent it to him to say thanks. Like I said, Unofficial Networks has had an influence on me. Like, they're one of the few outdoor media companies that I think is doing shit that's authentic and resonates. And I wrote him an email being like, hey, dude, I'm a big fan of you. Thank you. I recently wrote this. I think you'll dig it. and just wanted to send it your way, and hopefully it makes you laugh.
And you genuinely did not have like an ulterior motive there. And I'm only asking this because a lot of the people who are in here right now are aspiring artists or creators. And one of the hardest things on the entire planet to do is to make money at what you love to do. And so it's always about like, how can they do that? And I don't know how they could emulate what you just did, because you just reached out to a company that you liked and just wanted to share your work.
Well,
that was really
more so reaching out to the guy who started it. And yeah, in the back of my head was I like, oh, maybe he'll like it. But I didn't think he would like it and then put it on unofficial networks. I thought maybe he would be like, hey, like, this is cool, or maybe work on this, you know, maybe give me feedback. A small part of me was like, oh, it'd be really cool if it made it on unofficial networks. And then when he emailed back and was like, yo, can we post this? Like, I leapt out of my chair at my desk and started screaming and yelling at my dog. Because they're awesome. Like, they do like 2.5 million viewers every month. And like I said before, they're one of the few companies that I think actually speaks to ski bums and does stuff that resonates. So yeah, they're gonna be picking and choosing content that we put up on the Dirt Lot, and they get good content, I think, in my opinion. And
yeah, it's fucking good. I've told you it's good. Listen, you are a fantastic writer. I don't like to tell you it too often because I think you know that. I think you already have a pretty large head about it, and rightfully so, because you're really fucking good. But I'll say it now for the last time in a long time, because you guys at home, in case you haven't read his shit, he's really fucking good. And I told you guys before this episode to go check him out. But if you haven't already, thank you to Jake for throwing up the link in here. He's really fucking good. His stories are really good. And I don't understand the ski bum lifestyle at all. And so like the lizard article, that's not necessarily my piece, but like you also are really open and honest about your past, which kind of is similar for you guys at home to mine a little bit, in terms of like just an atrocious nightmare growing up of a person just like fucking and fighting and doing all of those things. And you're really honest and open about it, and you write incredible stories that remind me of, like, I don't know, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or some shit. So I definitely go check them out. It's awesome. It's really awesome. I'm not surprised that you sent it to somebody and they wanted to put it up on their site. Obviously, it's really good.
That means a lot, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. That's the last time I'll say it.
That's the biggest thing, Rox, is like what held me back for a long time was this fear of being me, you know? Like, a lot of outlets didn't respond to pitches I sent them. And it's because I was always trying to tailor my writing to be something else. And, you know, I had a conversation with you before I started the website where you gave me probably the hardest kick in the testicles I've ever received. And I told you when we got off the phone,
Sounds like
I ran
me.
I wasn't kidding when I told you I ran a 6-minute mile after I got off the phone with you. I've never done that before, ever, before or since. And I was just like, fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. Like, if I put my shit out there and people don't like it, fuck them. If they do like it, thank you. Hopefully I can monetize it at some point. And the biggest thing with the Dirt Lot is, like, I'm just trying to tell the truth. You know, I've had a lot of shit that that's not great, you know, that I've created or other people in my life have created. Mostly I've created. And I think that's why it's resonated with people so fast. You know, I'm just being honest about who I am. And I'm trying to tell the truth about the dirtbag lifestyle. Like I said, those big media outlets, like, the way they portray it is like it's all sunsets and, you know, pour over coffee in a van that's built out with, you know, tile work and solar power and whatnot. Like, that's not it. Like, I've lived in a van before that was built out of scrap wood that I got in Montana, and then shit that I could barely afford from Home Depot. And like, I would shit in a hole that I dug myself when I was living on the road.
And sometimes in your pants, as Jake reminds us that he's definitely going to have to read, I shit my pants on a boat in Montana. It happens.
And that's not a thing that started when I became a raft guide. I've always had gastrointestinal issues. Like, right before I logged in here, like I a couple different times I went to go sit on the toilet just to make sure nothing came up while we were broadcasting. But
Why?
we're good. We're good.
Sometimes when you're broadcast, well, I guess you don't broadcast anymore. Actually, would that happen at Sirius? You'd get like fucked and you'd have to run out. Those were long shows.
No, I shit my pants one time when we were on the air at Sirius when I was in the studio, and not a lot, just a tiny bit, and it was just a shark. And I like right before we went off the air, and thankfully Sam and the other guys didn't notice. And I went right to the bathroom, threw my underwear in the garbage can, and then went home and showered.
No way.
Yeah.
Wait, speaking of Sam, not Sam Miguel says, "Love you, Adrian. Only a savage can take 7 fingers." What is that in your butt?
Yeah, they're referencing the Mary Jean thing.
Oh, look, they stuck with you this whole time. All right. On the note of sticking with you guys, let's do what the rock stars do best. Go to the Dirt Lot on Instagram right now. Pull up your phones. If you're not Adrian, then you're probably not on your phone broadcasting. So pull up your phones right now at the Dirt Lot. Let's follow him. Let's get him to 500 by the end of this episode. He's pretty close, so I think we can do it. Go over there. Let me know that you did in the comments. We'll give you a shout out. If you are watching live right now, just let me know. And if you're watching after the fact and you leave a comment, then I'll give you a shout out on the show tomorrow, because you're doing a good job over here on social media. I know it's not probably as fun for you as writing your actual articles, but you're doing the damn thing here, and it looks good. And you make these videos that make me fucking laugh. I gotta say, what's happening?
Yeah, those videos
right now.
Yeah, I am.
What is
you still
it?
Hear me?
Yeah, I can, but you're getting blown up.
Yeah.
All right, we're close, guys. We're now at 474. Thank you to all you guys who are following him. PLD, Bruce Banner, Rob Fishbeck, Juan Mendez, John Bainbridge, all of you guys coming through. 477, close and close. Jake Iacovetta, keep it going. What, you're frozen now? You're killing me, Smalls.
Am I?
No, you're back. You good. Austin Kramer just followed you. I think you're back. Brandy followed you. John G. Weston Ira. Look, you guys are all following. He hasn't said thank you one time. Jeff Aaron.
You've been talking the whole time. Thank you, guys. Like, it's blowing me away. Thank you.
Hey, Craig.
Did you see me turning red?
We're at 480. Let's keep it going. 20 more to get him to 500. I know we can do it. But it's the best way to make sure that you stay up to date on the Dirt Lot and everything that's going on there. Again, speaking of everything that's going on here, I gave you the perfect transition before to talk about all the companies that you're working with. You didn't even take me up on it. So it's not just unofficial networks. What?
Yeah, we just got our first sponsor. Because when I talked about before how that one story got a lot of traction. This dude reached me from a company called River Company Outfitters and asked me if I was thinking about bringing on advertisers. And like, fuck yes, I am. And but I wanted to look at their shit first, and I did. And they're pretty cool. Like, it kind of fits into the vein of what I'm trying to do. Like, it's a company that these two brothers started, and they are like hardcore river.
Wow, you got a thing for brothers too. You have a brother. You love brothers. That sold your heart.
It's cool little. I like family businesses. Like, I like people who work hard. Like, that's why I fell in love with Dirtbags, because, you know, some people like look at us and think we're burnouts, but the hardest working people I know are Dirtbag River guys. Like, they always find a way to survive, even though we don't make so much money. And these guys they're making apparel for people on the river. Like, and it's cool stuff. It looks good. It's functional. Which that was awesome. But then I saw they're donating a portion of all their sales to all these organizations that are protecting and preserving different rivers and waterways for future generations. And I was like, this is a fucking
that's perfect, fucking awesome.
Perfect. You know, and if you go to their website, it's rivercompanyoutfitters.com.
They're right next to your head right now. I don't know if you can see them, but their logo's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're making cool shit, man. And everything you buy goes back to, you know, a portion of it goes to organizations that are actually doing shit to protect these different rivers that are so important to me and all the people I care about, you know?
It's nice that you're working only with companies that you seemingly like actually love. And it's important, I think, as a brand, because your whole thing is being this like authentic dude who, you're not just writing about being on the river. You fucking lived it for 3 years. Like, you've lived in your van and you travel all around and you've done all these things. And otherwise, if you were starting this company, you would seem like a fucking fake. Thank you, Jake, for throwing this in.
Like I want to make money, but if these guys showed up and I don't know, they were just making some bullshit clothes, or they somehow weren't connected to this subculture, then I wouldn't want to do anything with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the goal of the Dirt Lot is to be a voice for the dirtbags, and dirtbags are the realest people I know. And if I was just taking anybody who was throwing money at me, then it wouldn't resonate. They wouldn't trust me. And I think that's how the thing grows, is by people having an emotional investment in what we're doing and trusting us that, like, this is someone who's actually going to tell our stories. This is someone who's going to tell our stories. They're not going to bullshit. They're not going to sell out. And it's not about getting the biggest profit you can, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. So again, completely worth the follow. Shout out to the rest of you guys who have. Hey, Craig, Garth McMurray, anybody in here who is. I see we're at 482. Keep it going. I know we can get to 500. Don't be little bitches. You guys got this. I know you guys don't like it when I call you little bitches. I did it in the chat earlier. It's because Brandy said that I jinxed the. Look at what he's doing. What the fuck is the duel? What is the duel? What's the purpose of that?
I just can't get enough PBR.
That was an unbelievable moment.
Refreshment.
That was a fucking unbelievable moment. If you are not already following the Dirt Lot, I think that double fisting moment just definitely earned it for him. Fucking weirdo.
I think I've got Cat Spooler been having coffee in my beer.
I can't handle you right now. Jeff Aaron says, after 3 decades of working mostly blue-collar jobs, the hardest workers are the most dismissed. Kudos to bringing a voice to them. Also,
yeah, I mean,
what?
Sorry.
No, you go.
I was gonna say he brings up a good point, because like I've heard comments before from people being like, well, river guides are burnouts. Like, what do you think? If you just expect that you could just play all day and make a living? And it's like, like, it's not that simple, dude. Like, I know river guides who work fucking hard so that they can do that stuff. They work around the clock. I know a dude who's been in it probably going on like 30 years now. He guides in the summertime, and when it's not summertime,
his body must hurt so much.
Oh yeah. He drinks a lot of black velvet whiskey, but the dude is he's a badass river guide, and in the off season he's doing carpentry work and working his dick off, so when summertime comes he can do the shit he loves. Like, that's why I fell in love with it. It's all these people who like don't really give a fuck about what expectations are. Like, don't listen to people who say this is, you need safety, you need security, you need this. They just do what they love, and I just admire that. And they figure out a way to make it work.
Shout out to Pete, who says, followed on Instagram, 483 followers now. Who the fuck else? Guys, get these in, get them in loud, get them in proud. And speaking of making money, which we were talking about a minute ago, let's get some of these Patreon and Streamlabs questions. I know I've been ignoring you guys for the top of the show, so let's see what you guys are talking about in here today. Before we even came on this morning, Glenn Caesar. Okay, so Adrian, Glenn is, I call him the mascot of the show. He's just like literally the sweetest human being on the planet. We call him Zen Glenn, and he writes in these things that make you feel good. So let's see what he has going on today. He says, hello and good afternoon, Adrian and Roxy and all of your nicknames. Much love to you, Grammy and Pablo. Thanks for hanging out with us on this hopefully happy Wednesday. Peace, bunnies, and hugs to you and yours. Good stuff. Thanks for being there and here for us all. Positive thoughts to you, RJ, and all the rock stars who show up here and give their support whenever and however they can. Don't forget, when it gets tough, even if you're by yourselves, you're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. You're a winner. Please remember, you're kind, you're smart, you're unique, and being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers on the internet or not, makes you worthy. As such, your story is important and deserves to be seen and heard. You are appreciated. Saying it again, let's fucking go, Smets and everyone fighting for today, tomorrow, and more. Smash cancer, be most excellent. RJ and Rockstar, show up for people who need it. That makes you humane and therefore cool. Cheers to fuck yeah news in 2021 and beyond. And then he also says, continuing to say it, Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankinson, Jonathan Magley, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor, justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. Say their names. Glenn, thank you for all those words. We appreciate you.
That's all Glenn.
That's all Glenn.
That was all
Glenn sends in a bunch.
Man, I mean, now I'm thinking maybe the Dirt Lot needs like a self-help section on the website. We make Glenn the editor.
Glenn is so good at that stuff. I'm telling you, Glenn always makes me feel so much better than whenever I started. He's awesome. Also, let's see.
That was absurd.
Yeah, it's a lot. He brings the heat. I'm telling you. That's why we need him.
Yeah.
We had a question from Weston Ira in the Patreon who says, "Hello there, dirtbag." So, Adrian, my question is, on a scale of 1 to Negan, how prepared are you for a zombie apocalypse? Why does being a dirtbag make you more prepared for a zombie apocalypse?
I think I'm uniquely prepared in that I'm a dirtbag, so I can survive in a lot of different conditions, and I'm also from Jersey, so I'm a little more aggressive. So, like, if I had to really scrap with zombies, I'd be okay with it.
You aggressive? Yeah. Never. Very, very. Some might say soft. Very, very soft. Oh, Pete tells us that we're now at 487. Thank you to everybody else. Let me see. Guys, let me know, and I will give you the shout out. Don't forget. We're going to get to 500. I know it. So just, like, hang on to your butts. What's the saying? You're going to need a bigger boat. I've lost it. Going back into the Patreon, another question for Adrian. Actually, this one's coming from Glenn, who said he wants to know if you could pick any 2 superpowers or special abilities, what would they be?
Ooh. Okay, I'd like to be able to breathe underwater. That way I could raft any section of whitewater and not ever have to worry. You know, if I get pinned to a rock or in a sieve, I'd be fine. I would just hang out until somehow I can get out of it.
So you want to be like Aquaman?
Because there's because there's definitely some sections of whitewater that like some of my friends will run, but I'm too much of a pussy to get. I'm not good enough at it yet, and I don't understand big water as well as they do. But I'd like to go. So yeah, probably breathe underwater. And then I think the other one would probably be teleportation. That way, like at a moment's notice, like right now I'm in Asheville, but I'd really like to teleport to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, so I could ski with pipe bomb and misinformation, and then be back here to get my head.
Their names crack me up. Teleportation's still my number one. It's the obvious one, and it must be. It's just like, who doesn't want to get wherever they fucking want to go? And especially like, we haven't even gotten to this, but Adrian's got some similar shit going on at home to what I used to have going on at home. It would be really nice to be able to like get in, get out, get on with life, and just fucking bounce back and forth when you don't have to drive your car for 14 hours because you're a crazy person who moves all the time. Spidey Sensei, are we supposed to follow his Twitter or Instagram? I just did both. Awesome. Brownie,
you did exactly what you were supposed to do.
You definitely did exactly. Muhammad also following you. Thanks, Muhammad Belsian. Appreciate you. Guys, let me know. Morse Code Z said followed at the Dirt Lot. Yep, I'm behind again. You're not behind. You're just on time. Anybody who starts following now, the thing is, and again, I don't want to get his head too big, but like, I have a feeling this shit's about to blow up. I just do. And so you guys, we can all be like, oh, we were following him before he had hundreds of thousands of followers. It's basically like saying I hit it first. Mm-hmm. No smile or anything. I can't. With your frozen shit, it's so hard to read you. It's so fucking hard.
I mean, I hope that's what happens. You know, my biggest thing with the Dirt Lot, like I told you what the two goals are, and it's like it's really not about me. It's about us in terms of like the little community that I have. Like I've in the next few weeks, I'm working around the clock to do different stuff, and I'm a little bit delayed right now since I got that, partnered up with unofficial networks and whatnot. Like that adds a lot more to my plate where I have to deliver. But there's 5 or 6 people who I've kind of handpicked that I've worked with in different parts of the country who I'm like, okay, you're a talented storyteller. You're really funny. You're the unique backstory. And I want them to write for the website. And yeah, if it blows up, like that is to try and give a voice to all those. And so the sooner that happens, the better. Like, so that's what I'm hoping for.
Did I jinx it again, guys? Are you going to tell me that I jinxed it again because his internet is trash? Is this on me again, fuckers? No. At least I did hear what you said, and I think that that's awesome. We have another Streamlabs coming in from Gingerbread who says, "Hi, Adrian. Your beard is amazing. What's your zodiac sign?"
I'm an Aquarius, believe it, and I think I have a Leo rising, according to the girl I'm currently seeing. I think that's what she told me the other night. Is Leo rising, and I forget what the other. Maybe my moon is in Gemini. I'm not really sure.
That was pretty impressive. I didn't even think you were gonna know jack shit about your zodiac sign. So that was more impressive than I thought it was gonna be.
Well, that's the other thing. Like the dirtbag subculture kind of crosses over with the hippie subculture. So I've definitely ended up in some weird places on too many mushrooms, where somebody talks to me about what my destiny is based on when I was born. So I've had those experiences. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest zodiac guy in the world, but I'm open to it. Whatever, as long as I can move this thing forward and build the dirt lot, maybe get a book deal. I don't know.
PLD says, "I just hijacked my son's Twitter account to follow." I don't know how child appropriate the content on there is. I would say it's definitely rated R, but keep that follow going. We appreciate that. 488, let's fucking go, friends. Let's go. Don't forget to let me know that you've done it, and I will give you a shout out for sure. Speaking of what you just said about the book deal, is that an ultimate goal for you?
I mean, yeah. And again, that's like, I think that's getting ahead of myself a little bit, and being a little bit, that's the goal. So maybe me calling it overly ambitious isn't right, but that's what I want. Like, if I was to get a book deal, right, and let's say it's something significant money-wise, I would put most of that right back into the dirt lot and try to scale it out. Because, like, I don't want it to just be writing. Like I just said, I want to bring other writers on. I know all these ridiculous human beings who need to be making videos or need to be doing podcasts, that sort of thing. And that's just what, like, I've got in my head when like I'm up late at night and I'm thinking about this thing. It's like, okay, like, book deal, maybe it's something. If it's something significant, then I put it back into the website. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and, like,
I do.
My ultimate goal for myself, like in terms of just me, is to build the dirt lot into something, like I said, that creates a living wage for the dirt bags I know, and then get my own book deal where I don't know, in some way it enables me to step away, right? Like, this is kind of crazy thought, but I'd like to be able to retire at 40 and put everything I have into being dad
at 40?
and husband. Yeah, I think that's nice, right? 40 is a good age. I can still ski, I can still paddle. It gives me an 11-year buffer to become a Yeah.
Oh my God, Adrian. You want to retire? You want to retire in a decade?
Well, no. So I would like to be able to live in a house, I don't know, in Montana or Santa Fe, New Mexico, something like that, and no longer be doing this shit and just writing whatever I want to write. And if I can get stuff published, I can get stuff published. If not, no big deal. But really have the majority of my focus be on my family and people I care about, and the shit I like to do: skiing, paddling, all that stuff.
Pink Sweet says, "I Google Aquarius and the first thing that pops up is unusual hobbies and nonconformist attitude, rebel at heart." Nailed it. Damn. I've never heard a more accurate.
That's why.
That's so you.
I mean, I hate being told what to do. I fucking hate it. Like, I can't stand somebody telling me, like, you have to do this, and this. Like, the only time I've ever really been able to deal with that was working for Sam, and that's because I respected him, and, like, I knew that I was getting something from him. You know what I mean? But if I don't respect somebody and they try and tell me what to do, or, like, you need this career, you need that, like, it goes in one ear and out the other.
It's so weird to me because I'm kind of the same way in terms, I have an authority issue, but going back to what you said about wanting to retire and live that life, like, it's so weird to me because I want to work until the day that I die. Like, I want to be. I want to work I'm going to live to like 250, I think. And so I want to work literally until I'm 250 years old.
Not me. Like I don't love writing. I don't really even like it. Yeah, I don't really even like it all that much.
You don't love writing?
I like telling stories. Like, yeah, like I love that part of it. Like, you know, I probably like to listen to myself talk a little bit too much.
I think that is the biggest that is the biggest piece of bullshit that you've said. That's the only piece of bullshit I think you said on the show today. That
I don't like writing?
Yes.
No, I mean it's a painful, fucking annoying, painstaking process at times.
Yeah, but I feel like it's in your soul and you love it. And for you to claim otherwise is egregious.
It might be, but like I don't like, I don't know, maybe recently I've started to wake up and be like, okay, first thing I want to do is write. And that's because now I'm writing real shit. Like I'm telling you the truth and like getting the stories out there. But to me, I look at it like as a means to an end. Like you're stimulated by the career stuff, right? And like it's what you want. I like I said to a friend recently, like the most important thing to me in the world is that the people I care about most never question how invested I am in them. And it's a bit childish, the way I think, but I look at writing as like, okay, if I can do enough real shit, then I can give everything to my family, my friends, this, that. It's like why I have this fucking idea where I'm going to create this dirtbag Disneyland where the Whitewater Jedi and Caveman Craig, like, don't really have to worry about shit and can just paddle and climb and ski and, you know.
I guess. I don't know. I think as your dreams have changed in the past, maybe they will again in the future, because I think you'll probably become addicted to what it is that you're doing. Just like you are right now. I mean, you hit the ground running so fucking fast on this thing, dude. And you became so fucking obsessed with it. And maybe it's a means to an end, but I don't think so. That's my prediction.
I was just talking to somebody the other night about how the reason I've been going so hard on it, because I'm legit doing like 12 hours or more a day, whether it's writing or editing or trying to figure out graphic design stuff, because I'm technologically, I'm a fucking idiot. And I've had to teach myself a lot of stuff. And when I'm doing it, like I think about the dirtbags, and like that's what motivates me. Is like I've kind of created this lie in my head of that they're all counting on me, where they're not. Like that's why I love them. They're such independent people who figure their shit out. But I constantly remind myself, like, hey, if you can do this, then like the dirtbags can all hang out and paddle and drink beer together and eat mushrooms and do this and do that.
I like mushrooms. Guys, we're at 493. That means we're 7 away from 500. Let's go. Let's get it. We are getting out of here in a couple of minutes. Before we do, thank you. Yesterday after the show, a couple Streamlabs came through. Bruce Banner, who said, I'm sure this didn't get in on time, just saying, what's up? Amazing job hosting SEN on Tuesday, and hope the move is going well. If not, I'm sending positive vibes. I know how lame moving can be. Much love and can't wait to see the new spot. Thanks. Yeah, the move is tomorrow, the official move. So it's going to be a fucking bitch. And I'll tell you guys more about the story another time. What?
You got your place? You got a place?
Yeah. Adrian and I don't talk about me very much.
I try to ask. Don't do it.
I did. I got my new place. I'm moving tomorrow. But for you guys at home, I'll give you this story tomorrow. But last night at 1 a.m, I got a call from Grammy and Papo's person, and I had to rush over there. They're okay now, but I have literally not slept in 48 hours. It has been a fucking whirlwind. Papa was having like insane PTSD flashbacks, and I was trying to convince him that we were not in Germany, and it was like an all night debacle. It was wild. It was truly wild. So I am on one right now. So thank you guys for those well wishes. I appreciate them. And I hope that the move goes smoothly too. It feels like nothing goes very smoothly though. Itai Burr 2000 in here says, hope you'll have an easy move day, Roxy. I know it's not much, but everything counts. It is a lot. And I appreciate you, Itai. From a fellow Jew overseas. Shout out to my fellow Jews. I appreciate you guys. You are awesome. As we are getting out of here, I'm refreshing. I know that we can get this. I know we can get to this 500. Guys, come on,
Let's
follow. I know we're only a few away, so let's get them in. For those of you guys who are watching after the fact, again, leave a comment with your name, and I will make sure that I shout you out on tomorrow's show. There's a couple other things going on in here in the Streamlabs. What?
My dog is trying to attention.
Want your attention?
Go away. Go away. Yeah.
Everybody needs your attention. Garth Harkness McMurray says, hey, Adrian, I love your free lifestyle. A friend of mine spent many years traveling the world, sailing, fire jumping, working in Antarctica, learning MMA in Thailand, learning stunt diving, etc. And he wrote a bunch of books. I hope you get more book deals. That's so sweet. Thanks, Garth.
Sweet. Yeah. Garth, let me know what that dude's name is. I'll check out his stuff.
Also in here, Weston Ira says in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RockTheStryer, will the World Girls give rafting a whirl? Also, someone in the chat keeps asking about a Mustang Adrian had. Sounds like a juicy story. What's up with the Mustang? Did you have a Mustang?
That's my friend I went to high school with who so when I was in school, I used to drive a Mustang and was I would think like your stereotypical high school douche. He's trying to be funny.
That checks out.
What's that?
That checks out.
Yeah, he knows that if he does that again, I'm just gonna put his name out there and he'll lose his job because I'll let everyone know that he's a chronic masturbator and a dyed-in-the-wool pervert. He's trying to be funny right now, Rox.
You think that you could lose your job for being a chronic masturbator?
To the extent that this gentleman is, yes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a kid I've been friends with since we were like 13 or something like that. He's a real sicko.
That would be a really easy way to go.
I can't see your chat right now, but just based on that comment, I know who sent it in.
Okay. Do you know what the World Girls are?
Yeah, it's your show.
Okay, so you do pay a little bit of attention to me.
Yeah, it's one of the girls is Evil Darina. Is she in that, or is it Steph?
Yeah, that's both. Oh my God, those are the two of them. Steph Sabra and Evil Darina. Look at you. Right. So we give shit a whirl, and I would fucking love to give rafting a whirl, but that would be like a whole episode. We would have to fly somewhere and do some shit, something like that.
Well, I'm probably gonna be a weekend warrior guide this season.
What's that mean?
That means I probably only guide on the weekends because I'm putting so much time into the dirt lot. But if you guys want to come down to the southeast, I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. There's a bunch of whitewater down here, and we could take you guys out on the river. Or if you want to do something closer to California, I can link you up with some guides I know out there. Like that's the cool thing about this community, Rocks, is people guides use it as a mechanism to see the country. You know what I'm saying? Like they go from one river to another each. And I've got this spider web of friends who are some are in Montana, Colorado, New Mexico, Maine, Vermont, here, there. And that's probably a reason why the dirt lot has, we're not massive, but it's probably how I've been able to get so many readers so fast is I've got this little network of all these degenerates around the country who are putting up bumper stickers here, there. And it's been pretty cool to watch.
The stickers are really fucking working for you.
Yeah.
They're really working.
So within that world, like the dirtbag and the outdoor sports world, like stickers are the jam. Like people put them on their water bottles, their helmets, their snowboards, this, that. And I dropped a not insignificant amount of money on thousands of stickers. And they're all gone and all got mailed out. And to friends of mine or random readers, and they've been putting them fucking everywhere. I've got another 1,500. So if
cool. I was so glad to receive my stickers.
You're on the mail out. If you haven't gotten them yet, they should be there soon.
You're full of shit.
No, I'm not.
I'm moving today. I'm moving tomorrow.
Okay, well then I'll have to send them to the new address. I'm about to do another round. I just got 1,500 more stickers, and they're way bigger. Hold on.
Guys, we have 6 to go, by the way. 6 people. 6 more people to get to 500. That's awesome that you're going to get there. Those stickers are great. Don't forget the dash. It's important because it's the dash dirt lot. Because some dickhead probably
there's somebody's sitting on the domain name without the dash right now who I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it, but
all right.
We'll get there.
Wow. A couple more things coming through, and then we're getting out of here. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Garth Harkness McMurray says, Adrian, his name is Sam Sheridan. Check out his books and his TV shows on National Geographic, too. I hope you find a path to making money, writing, and being a guest on shows to help fund your free lifestyle. Keep on keeping on.
Thanks, dude. I'm gonna Google it as soon as we're off the air with you. What was his name? The dude who put that?
The guy who put the chat in, or the guy whose name with the book?
The guy who put the chat in.
Garth Harkness Murray. Garth is one of our like OG rock stars. He's the fucking shit. We love Garth.
I'm gonna message him later.
You're a nice kid.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm the sweetest.
Yeah, I think you're one of the good ones most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. All right. Let's get out of here now. This internet thing is killing me. And also, we've got places to go, people to see. And I have a fucking apartment to move. Brutal.
Yeah, good luck.
Brutal.
Hey, I've moved dozens of times. I know how much it sucks. So, sorry.
Yeah.
Anything I can do, let me know. I don't know what the fuck I could do from North Carolina, but.
No, it's nothing. It's just like during a pandemic, too. It's just like, what the fuck? It makes everything such a bitch. Again, if you're watching after the fact, don't forget to follow him. Leave a comment. I will give you a shout out on tomorrow's show. All the places, Adrian, plug every single thing. Like, where can they find you in all the spots? I know we pushed Instagram, but also obviously the website. Everywhere you are, let them know.
Right. At the Dirt Lot on Twitter and Instagram. The website is the-dirtlot.com. Don't forget the dash. Check that stuff out. Definitely check out unofficialnetworks.com. That's the company I was talking about that we partnered with. And I'm pretty stoked about that. They're awesome and have been a major influence on me. To work with them this fast is kind of crazy. And yeah, check out River Company Outfitters as well. They're giving away a Yeti cooler, so you can get one of those.
Those things are fucking pimp.
Yeah, they're awesome. Every dollar that you spend on their website is one entry for a Yeti cooler.
Wow, I want one of those. Thank you to Jake for putting all these links in. By the way, Rob says, favorite guest ever. That's fucking sweet.
Oh, Rob, cheers to you, dude. Cheers to you. I hope Rob and I can have a PBR together.
Rob would be a great person to have a PBR with, but he's been about that sober life because he's trying to get shredded right now.
All right.
He's like,
I'll have a PBR and he can have a kombucha or something.
I think by the time that you guys would be able to do it together, he'll be back on the PBR life. Not if he doesn't want to be. That wasn't me predicting something bad, Rob. I'm just saying. I know that you weren't trying to like go sober forever. That was fucked up that I just said that. I also called myself a wimp for drinking tea at the top. I don't mean that. Tea drinkers are awesome. I just mean like I just want to have a fucking beer with my friend Adrian. All right, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much to Adrian for being here. Go follow him in all of those places. I will be back tomorrow live at the Roxy. Tonight, we have a World Girls episode where we're giving waxing a whirl. This is our IRL one, so it's our produced one that we pre-taped. It was a fucking torture chamber. And the episode, it gets so bloody and uncomfortable. The episode is wild. It's a really good one. If you like to watch people in pain, it's really, really good. And I will say this, of the three World Girls, of me, Steph, and Dorina, one of us is an atrocious waxer. I will not say who, but one of us, like literally, I mean, it was horrible. So I cannot wait till you guys watch that one. And if you're on Patreon, then you will hang out with us afterwards. All right, getting out of here. Anything else, Adrian? Are you good to go?
No, I love you, dude. You're the best.
You too, honey.
Everything. Very grateful for you.
I got you. For all you guys at home, put your toilet seats down and the lid. We don't want them plumes. We also need to make our beds. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Oh, these are all things Adrian's learning for the first time. We've got a lot of life lessons here live at the Roxy. I'll see you guys tonight for World Girls, tomorrow live at the Roxy.
Love you, Rox.